Hello friends, welcome back once again to this channel Aspire to Attain. In this video lecture we will learn some of the crucial questions and at the same time I will discuss some of the side fact or some of the smart fact which will be quite helpful in preparing your end-to-end examination. So let's begin without wasting much more time. Now here comes question number 33. From the following, indicate the work which is not a dystopia. The question is, from the following, indicate the work which is not a dystopia. So, dystopia is just opposite of utopia. We all know that Utopia is a famous book which was written by Sir Thomas More and it was published in Latin in 1516. So this is the book and this describes an imaginary island where everything is peaceful, everything is quite smooth and easygoing. But dystopia is just the opposite of utopia, and dystopia is sometimes called as cocatopia or as anti-utopia. Here we have to tell that which of the following books are not in the category of dystopia, and the options are option A, Aldous Huxley's A Brave New World, option B, George Orwell 1984, and option C, Evgeny Zamyatin We, and option D, Evelyn O. Brightset Revisited. If we look into the three books, the first three one, that is ABC, Aldous Huxley's A Brave New World, and George Orwell 1984, and Evgeny Zamyatin's We. In all this book, we find a despotic reign which are not at all acceptable by the normal human being, and it seems that they are actually expressing their opinion about destruction, about despotism. So all these books belong into the category of dystopia, because dystopia does not speak of an imaginary peaceful life, rather speak of an destruction, of an despotic reign, of an disastrous environment. So in this respect, we can say that option D, that is Evelyn Oz Brightset Revisited, this is the right answer of question number 33. So Evelyn Oz Brightset Revisited is the right answer of question number 3. Now look into the question number 34. What does it say? Question number 34 says that unless wariness be used as a good, almost kill a man as kill a good book. Who kills a man kills a responsible creature, God's image, but he who destroys a good book kills reason itself, kills the image of God as it were in the eye. Many a man leaves a burden to the earth, but a good book is the precious life blood of a master spirit. So this is within quotation, and here the passage is taken from. We have to tell where from the above mentioned passage has been taken out, and the options are option A, Milton's Areopagitica. If we look into this book, Milton's Areopagitica, it speaks of the freedom of expression, and it is a certain kind of plea to the Parliament of England, so that Parliament can give the licensing power or the poetic licensing power to speak whatever a person thinks. And if we look into the full title of this treatise Areopagitica, we must have to tell that the title or the full title of this treatise is Areopagitica, a speech of Mr. John Milton for the liberty of unlicensed printing to the Parliament of England. So this is the full title. Again I am repeating, a speech of Mr. John Milton for the liberty of unlicensed printing to the Parliament of England. And this book was first published in 1644. So when does this book published? This book was first published in 1644. So this is the year of the publication of this book. So we must have to learn the side fact, because this will help all of us to gather much more information about various type of question. So now look into the another option, that is second is Apology for Poetry. We all know this book, Apology for Poetry, and it has another title also, The Defense of Poesy. So both the title indicate a single book. Sometimes students or learners most often get confused, and they think that Apology for Poetry is another book and The Defense of Poesy is another book, but it is not true. Both the title and Apology for Poetry or The Defense of Poesy is also the same book. They are not different. So now let's have a look into the smart fact of the book. So this book was first published in the year 1595. So this book was published when? This book was published in 1595. So we must have to remember that this book was actually written in 1581, but it was published in 1595. So this is to be remembered to all of us. And in this book, Sidney clearly asserts that the ethical philosophy or the philosophy of ethics are quite imperative than the effective presentation of history. So here he mainly focuses on the ethical aspect rather than the presentation of the history. And next comes option number D, that is Dryden's preface to the fables. We all know that it is a book where he translated a large number of stories, namely Odyssey and Iliad's few part. Even Chaucer's 3 stories have been included in the preface to the fable, and the full title of this book is Preface to the Fable is Fable Ancient and Modern. So the again I am repeating the title. Another title of Preface to the Fable is Fable Anxiety and Modern, and it was published in 1700. So this is the year of the publication. So when does this book appear? It is in the year 1700. And the another book, that is option number 3, we have Marvel's The Rehearsal of Transposed. This is a book which represents the universal value of presenting something quite crucially. So we have to tell, among the following options, the above mentioned passages are taken out from where? And the right answer of question number 34 is option A, that is Milton's Areopagitica. So this is the right answer. Again I am saying option number A. Option number A, Milton's Areopagitica, is the right answer of question number 34. Now question number 35. Virginia Woolf rubbished the idea of character and the understanding of realism of writers like Arnold Bennett, John Galsworthy, and H.G. Wells. Her famous essay is called Mr. Bennett and Mr. Brown, Who is Mrs. Brown? And the options are option A, the name Wolf gives a woman whom she happens to meet in a train. Option B, a servant in Mr. Bennet's household. Option C, a character in a Bennet story. And option D, Mr. Bennet's neighbor who happens to be a writer. And the right answer of question number 35 is option A. If we read the essay, Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown, we come to know that while Virginia Woolf was traveling, he happens to came across a woman in a train and with whom she conversed. So he adopted her name for the sake of the story, Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown. So option B, the name Wolf gives women whom she happens to meet in a train. So this is the right answer of question number 35. Now here comes question number 36. M. Foster uses some recurrent images in a passage to India. Pick the odd one out. So we all know that M. Foster's famous novel Passage to India, it is a quite a readable novel and we all have read in our graduation or post graduation. We all know that this book was published in 1924. So the side fact is that this book was published in 1924, and in this book we find some of the Indian nationalist movement of 1920s. Here we also come to know about Fielding, Dr. Aziz, Adela Quest, etc. So these are the famous characters, but here we have to tell that E.M. Foster has used several images, but which is not in this group. Wasp, option A is wasp, option B is stone, option C is thunder, and option D is echo. We all know that in the cave episode there appears recurrent images, some of the ideas which happen to thunder the mind of the many several characters, and therefore Mr. Aziz was brought into the custody. So we have to tell the odd one, and the option of 36 is option C, that is thunder. So this is not the recurrent image in the novel A Passage to India. There is the image of wasp in A Passage to India, there is stone, and there is also echo. So these are in the Passage to India, but the thunder is not there. Now comes question number 37. Now stop your noses, readers all and some, for here is a ton of midnight work to come, Oji from a treason tavern rolling home, round as a globe and a liquor delivery chink godly, and a great he rails behind his link. In the above extract from Absalom and Achitophel, OG is. So we have to tell the real identity of OG. We all know that Absalom and Achitophel is a satirical poem. So it is a poem. What kind of poem? It is a satirical poem, and one interesting thing is that it is Nahum Tate who also wrote the second part of this book. So who wrote the second part of the book? It is Nahum Tate. Sometimes this type of question come into net exam, so you must have to remember it. It is Nahum Tate who wrote the second part of the book. Some critics also said that it is at the advice of Dryden himself that his friend Nahum Tate took the responsibility of writing the second part of this book, Absalom and Achitophel. This book that is written by Dragon himself, first published in 1681. So the year of the publication is 1681, but the second part, that is Nahum Tate wrote, it was published in 1682. Just 1 year later, this book was published. And here Dryden uses some of the names which are meant to caricature some of the contemporary writers. So you have to tell who is OG in this poem. And the options are Elkanah Settle, option B Lord Harvey, option C Thomas Shadwell, and option D Joseph Addison. And the right answer of question number 37 is option C, that is Thomas Shadwell. Thomas Shadwell is actually given a portraiture in the form of OG or in the name of OG. So this is the right answer of question number 37. Now here comes question number 38. Just look what does the question say. Question: D.H. Lawrence uses the expression a bright book of life to describe, and the options are the novel, option B the dramatic monologue, option C the Bible, and option D short lyric. So D.H. Lawrence uses an expression, and what is the expression? A bright book of life. So this is the expression, and with the help of this expression, D.H. Lawrence actually tries to describe whom. And the right answer of question number 38 is novel. So with the expression a bright book of life, Dryden actually describes the novel. So option number A is the right answer of question number 38. Now here comes question number 39. We can see that this is a match. So here we have to match with list 1 and list B. So now let's have a look into the options of list 1 says that where angels fear to tread. This is quite known to all of us who are preparing for NET. So in the meantime, I just want to request to all of you, if you are getting any kind of help from this video, just subscribe and share, and don't forget to comment. You can also give me your suggestion about what kind of video you are expecting and you are wanting to. So the first one is where angels fear to tread. This is a book written by Virginia Woolf, and we know that this book was first published in 1905. So when does this book appear? This book appeared in 1905. So this is to be remembered here. And in this book we see the Tuscany town that is in Italy. So here the setting is Italy, so we can match it with Italy, option number 3. And we all know that the title is taken from Alexander Pope's An Essay on Criticism. So the title where an angel fear to tread, this title is taken from where? From Alexander's essay on criticism. And the line is for fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Once again I am just repeating the line: for fools rush in where angels fear to tread. And from this line the title where an angel fear to tread is taken out. Now option B, a portrait of the artist as a young man. We all know that this book is written by Joseph Conrad, and in fact in this book we find the presentation of the Dublin town, and so therefore we can surely match it with Dublin. And the and a portrait of the artist as a young man has a connection with Dublin. Now comes question option, and now comes option number 3, that is plumed serpent. So who is the writer of this book? The writer of this book is D.H. Lawrence. So who wrote this book? This book was written by D.H. Lawrence. The idea of writing this novel came into his mind whenever he was traveling to Mexico. So we can surely match this option number 3 with option number 4. So we have to just look into the other options that is actually going on. So now let's see. And option number 4, an outcast of the island, this is also a novel, and it was written by Joseph Conrad. So it was also written by Joseph Conrad, and in it he shares the experiences while traveling in a ship, and the name of the ship is Vidar. So Vidar, Vidar, is the name of the ship, and whenever he was traveling in the ship he gave his own experiences. And the last option, so we can say that the outcast of the island is actually tells the story of the Malay. So this is related to one Malay. And the last one, under Western Eye. Under Western Eye, it was also written by Conrad, and this book describes the town Petersburg, Russia. So we must have to go with this. So if we look the answer now, then it comes to us that option number A is the right answer of question number 39. So these are the facts which I have been just telling to all of you. I don't have any kind of intention to teach you, because you all know, you are all learned. I am just highlighting the side fact, and these facts will be quite crucial. You can also use this video as audio whenever you are sleeping. Just listen the audio, and I think that you will be able to understand each and every question quite easily. Now here comes question number 40. Given below are two statements, one labeled as assertion A and the other labeled as reason R. So assertion says that Chaucer describes Madame Eglantine, thus she was so charitable and so piteous. She would weep if what she saw a mouse caught in a trap. And the reason says that on her brooch of gold full shrine was written Amor vincit omnia. So here says that in the context of two statements, which of the following is correct? Option A says that both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of option A. B says that both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Option C says that A is true but R is false, and option D says that A is false but R is true. And the right answer of question number 40 is option B, that is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. If we look into the prologue of Canterbury Tales by Chaucer, there we see the mention of Madame Eglantine, and both A and B are true because these all describes the characteristics of Madame Eglantine, but R is not the actual explanation against A or assertion. So option B, both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Now here comes question number 41. 41 says that identify the correct statement on Langu and parole. Langu is the abstract language system, the grammar of a language. So it is also true, we all know that it describes actually Langu. And option number B says that a parole is the language actually produced by its user following a Langu. It is also true. Now here comes option number 3, that is Langu is the language actually produced by its user following a parole. It is not true, so it can never be a true. And option 4 says that parole is the abstract language system, the grammar of a system, so it is not also a true. So the right answer of question number 41 is option B, that is option 1 and 2 are correct. If you like to have a video on Langu and parole, just make your comment in the comment box. I will upload another video on the linguistics and on Langu and parole. And here one interesting thing just I want to mention here, that Langu and parole, the idea were actually given a beautiful expression by Ferdinand de Saussure, and Ferdinand de Saussure gave the beautiful expression of Langu and parole, and these expressions were given in his famous book, and the name of the book is Course in General Linguistics. So you must have to remember the name of the book is Course in General Linguistics. So just you have to remember the entire name, and this will help you to gain much more knowledge about the book. Now here comes question number 42. In Monica Ali's Brick Lane, which among the following characters has a face like a frog? We all know that Monica Ali actually she was from Bangladesh, and her book The Brick Lane is quite famous one. In fact, she got many prizes for this book Brick Lane. We have to tell which character has a face like a frog, and the right answer of question number 42 is Chanu. So Chanu is the right answer of question number 42. So Chanu has a face just like a frog, and the book was first published in 2003. So when does the book Brick Lane appear? So we have to tell that the book was first published in 2003. Now here comes question number 43. The grey-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with a streak of light, and flecked darkness like a drunkard reels. From fourth day's path and Titan's burning wheels, Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 3, line 1 and 4. So the speaker describes. So we have to tell, after reading the passage, we have to tell what does the speaker is actually telling us about, and the options are the setting sun, option B, the return home of a drunkard, option C, the drawing of a new day, and option D, the rising sun. And the right answer of question number 43 is, that is the drawing of a new day. Now here comes question number 44. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action how like an angel, in apprehension how like a god. What does Hamlet marvel at in this passage? And the options are his own self. Option B says that his father. Option C says that man, and option D says that woman. And the right answer of question number 44 is option number C, that is man. And with the help of the above passage, Hamlet describes man. Now here comes the last question of today's session. I think that you are just enjoying the session. So please don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Now here comes question number 45. So what does the question number 45 say? 45 says that said identifies Orientalism as, and the options are option A, what an Orientalist does. So if we look into the book Orientalism, we find that there is also mention of what an Orientalist does. Option B says that a style of thought based on ontological and epistemological distinction made between Orient and the accidents. This is also true. If you read the book, you can see that the thought is based on ontological and epistemological distinction. So we can say that option 1 is right, option B is right. Now let's see what does option 3 say. A discourse dealing with the Orient. And option 4 says that a fact of nature rather than one of human production. The 3 are discourse dealing with the Orient. It is also true. So we can say that 1, 2 and 3 are true, and option 4 is wrong. So we have to now find out, is there any option. So you can see that here is option number C, that is option A, option B, option 3 are correct, and option 4 is wrong. So this is the end of today's video. Thank you for watching this video.